Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. I wanted to share some things with you guys because I know that summer is here, but also you're probably thinking of some different things that you guys can do over the summer in order to keep yourself ready and steady for when you go back, but also to be prepared. So thinking back over like all of the things that we've done throughout the year, I want to say that this is honestly one of the best things that you guys can do in the classrooms with your students all year round, up until I would say like the last week of school. This is something I definitely would start after you all do like your testing. And what I mean by testing is like after you guys have assessed the kids in the beginning of the year and you see, like where they're at as far as like their math. I would definitely add in some math fluency bags, and math fluency bags is just a really great thing to add in because of the simple fact it's teaching them on their own their facts of 10, how to make 10. And then of course it also builds up independence of their work by themselves. So I wanted to show you guys what the math fluency bags look like and the reason why you should really use them. So the reason why I think that math fluency bags are the best is because, like I said, they learn the facts of 10, they also learn what combinations go with each other, which is also going to help with the fluency of knowing that math practice. So the bags that we use this year are these. They're big enough for papers to fit in. It's also big enough for like spinners or the red and yellow dot chips. This is what we call them chips, red and yellow dots. It also is big enough to hold a red and yellow crayon, color pencil, or marker in here. So simply each kid has one of these, their name is on them, and they just can unzip it and zip it up. So what I want to show you is like a couple different worksheets that has been created to go into these math fluency bags. They definitely help. So everybody's going to be a little bit different. Some people might start off with 2, some people might start off with 3, some people might start off with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then they finally will move on to the teens. So I'm going to start by showing you guys some of the paperwork that you guys can put in here and make as a packet. I'm also going to try and show you guys the numbers that I currently have. And then from there, it's really just more like build your own. So I have papers 9 through 10. And then there's also other paperwork that you guys can put into here. So I'm going to show you the first packet, which is 6, which they're all the same. Literally, they're all the same. So this is a packet that's stapled. And they have different worksheets in here, like the chips, which is what you would need the chips for, so that should go in the bag. More chips. And this one is a subtraction one, which is really good because when you're adding, it's the same thing as, subtracting. So that's a good one too. There's also like this one where it's addition, where they have to figure out what plus what equals 6. And then there's like the hiding bears. The hiding bears is something that you guys can do as well. So they can have a bag of chips, they can have a bag of bears, and the bears is more like I would set up in your math area, like some cups. That way they can figure out how many are hiding under here. Then again, if you really want to challenge the kids, then don't do it. Let them figure out how many's in there, whether it takes them to use their brain, their fingers, whatever. It's going to help them. And I would say, keep a document checking to see if they really know, those skills. So like I said, each packet has basically the same worksheet. And so with 7, sometimes you can switch it up and do minus. If you do 7 minus what equals what, instead of them trying to figure out the answer. And then some of them can be front and back. Now, when you get up to 10, it's gonna start to get, like a little bit thinner with as far as like the work. You have your chips that you can use to do those worksheets, but then you also are adding something plus something to get to 10, and then you don't really have, you know, many counting bears to use. Another great worksheet that I definitely would add in there if you want to recreate it for yourself using like Canva or Word document is doing part whole. This right here is going to be like a great thing to keep in your classroom as far as like in your copy section. What I mean by that is, you know, always make sure you have extra copies. Always make sure that like you do it the way you want to do it. So a lot of teachers make bins that have the number on it. They also keep a bunch of folders, and in the folders they keep these worksheets where the kids can come and get extras. And so that's the bin that they can only work in. They cannot get, you know, like any other they cannot get any other worksheet out of any other bin, but they can get any worksheet out of the bin number that they're on. So for example, if they're on bin number 6, then they're going to get one of these, but it's already going to have the number 6 written on here. They have to fill in the parts to make 6. So 3 and 3, 2 and 4, 5 and 1, 6 and 0, they have to come up with that. So that's something that's going to help them in the long run. So definitely make copies of the, you know, these packets, put it in like bins, or put it in folders so that they can easily just come back and get them themselves, and also build up that independence piece. And then there's another worksheet that I, you know, think that would be great for your bins is like doing a how many am I hiding, because of course the ones that are not hidden and the ones that are hidden, they have to write that, and then they're trying to make the total number of, let's just say 6. Okay, then hidden 2, not hidden 4. It's gonna continue to build up that math fluency piece. There's also some other like worksheets that you guys can add into this as far as their math fluency. You can, you know, create any type of worksheet that you would like, that you feel like is going to help them in the long run understand these math fluency, you know, facts of 10 and things like that. And then of course find the different parts of each number so that they can, you know, learn to add numbers together. So it makes a really great math strategy for the classroom. Of course, I would say like anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes of your math time. You know, always do this at the beginning. That way they can, you know, jump from one thing into this and then continue to roll with what they're working on. So thank you guys so much for tuning into today's upload. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope that you all, you know, like the resources that I gave, because it was really helpful this year in first grade. I did not know about this when we were in kindergarten, but now that I'm going back to kindergarten, we will be implementing this into our math literacy time. And of course, we will, you know, see how this works with kindergarten, and not only kindergarten, but that way they understand when they go to first grade why they're doing math fluency.